We're here to react on all the ongoing crisis in the Middle East and around the world is former U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Ambassador John Bolton. Ambassador, is it happening? Is it not happening? Whatever it is, that guy right there is incapable of exuding power on the world stage. No wonder these things are bubbling up around the world.
Well, I think the administration demonstrates weakness almost across the board. You name a crisis or difficult situation, and it's the same thing. In the Middle East, you now have Joe Biden so desperate for a ceasefire in the Israel conflict with Hamas to satisfy the left wing of the Democratic Party.
Take a listen to Antony Blinken.
Ukraine will become a member of NATO. Our purpose at the summit is to help build a bridge to that membership and to create a clear pathway for Ukraine moving forward.
Explain to me, sir, why that wasn't the declaration of World War III. You allow Ukraine into NATO. That means all the other 27 NATO countries will have to defend Ukraine against Russia. It sounds like World War III begins the minute that happens.
Well, I don't know that happens, but NATO has never taken in as a member any country that has hostile foreign troops on its soil in order not to be in a potential situation where the alliance might find itself at war. You know, George W. Bush proposed bringing Ukraine into NATO in April of 2008 at a NATO summit. And if he had, I don't think the Russians ever would have crossed Ukraine's border.
Can we agree we cannot let Ukraine into NATO until they solve whatever's going on with Russia?
Well, I think I would look forward to admitting Ukraine to NATO after they've pushed all the Russian troops off their territory, which is the stated goal of every NATO member.
And if that doesn't happen, sir, I mean, here's the point. Blinken didn't say that. He said we're looking for a clear pathway for Ukraine to enter NATO. The minute that happens, it's in the NATO charter. The other 27 NATO countries must defend any of their own being attacked. I mean, you're declaring war on Russia if you do that.
Yeah, look, I'm by no means defending Blinken or the administration, and Ukraine's not going to get admitted anytime soon because Hungary, among others, will not agree to it. What Blinken's afraid to talk about, though, is why it is still the stated policy of the United States to rebuff the Russian invasion and restore Ukraine to its full sovereignty and territorial integrity. That's the official U.S. position. It's the position of every NATO member, including Hungary.
Now, very quickly, play the soundbite. Speaker Johnson was on here explaining his ideas for Ukraine funding. Maybe you can help me out with this, figuring out. Go ahead.
What we've been talking about with Ukraine and the National Security Supplemental, which also includes Israel and the Indo-Pacific region, is some of the new concepts that you've been hearing about, the Repo Act, for example, with regard to lethal aid to Ukraine. If you could use the seized assets of Russian oligarchs to fund that, that's a no-brainer. That's not taxpayer dollars to do that. We've talked about the loan concept. President Trump has talked a lot about this in recent days, where if we're going to do foreign aid, we do it in terms of a loan instead of just a gift.
Final thoughts, sir, on that idea?
Yeah, I don't have any trouble with the loan idea, actually. I don't think that should be a problem. We did Lend-Lease during World War II. As far as seizing foreign assets from the Russians, I don't object to that in principle, but I'd sure like to know more about the implications for American assets that may get frozen in some godforsaken country and taken from us.
Mr. Ambassador, have a good weekend. John Bolton, thank you so much for your time.
Likewise.
All right, folks, coming up, stop me if you're shocked to hear this, but the next wave of illegal invaders